Chapter 5. South of the St. Girons, near the Spanish-French border, is the deepest abyss in France, the Gouffre Martel. Its caverns twist for miles under the Pyrenees. It is the most formidable cavern hospital on Terra. No patient has ever succeeded in getting his bearings and learning the jaunt coordinates of the black hospital depths. Short of prefrontal lobotomy, there are only 3 ways to stop a man from jaunting: a blow on the head producing concussion, sedation, which prevents concentration, and concealment of jaunt coordinates. Of the 3, the jaunty age considered concealment the most practical. The cells that line the winding passages of Gouffre Martel are cut out of living rock. The passages are never illuminated. Infrared lamps flood the darkness. It is the black light visible only to guards and attendants wearing snooper goggles with specially treated lenses. For the patients, there is only the black silence of Gouffre Martel, broken by the distant rush of underground waters. For Foyle, there was only silence, the rushing, and the hospital routine. At 8 o'clock, or it may have been any hour in this timeless abyss, he was awakened by a bell. He arose and received his morning meal, slotted into the cell by pneumatic tube. It had to be eaten at once, for the china surrogate of cups and plates was timed to dissolve in 15 minutes. At 8:30, the cell door opened, and Foyle and 100 of others shuffled blindly through the twisting corridors to sanitation. Here, still in darkness, they were processed like beef in a slaughterhouse, cleansed, shaved, irradiated, disinfected, doused, and inoculated. Their paper uniforms were removed and sent back to the shops to be pulped. New uniforms were issued. Then they shuffled back to their cells, which had been automatically scrubbed out while they were in sanitation. In his cell, Foyle listened to the interminable therapeutic talks, lectures, moral, and ethical guidance for the rest of the morning. Then there was silence again, and nothing but the rush of distant water and the quiet steps of goggled guards in the corridors. In the afternoon came occupational therapy. The TV screen in each cell illuminated, and the patient thrust his hands into the shadow frame of the screen. He saw 3-dimensionally, and he felt the broadcast objects and tools. He cut hospital uniforms, sewed them, manufactured kitchen utensils, and prepared foods. Although actually he touched nothing, his motions were transmitted to the shops, where the work was accomplished by remote control. After 1 short hour of this relief, came the darkness and the silence again. But every so often, once or twice a week, or perhaps once or twice a year, came the muffled thud of a distant explosion. The concussions were startling enough to distract Foyle from the furnace of vengeance that he had stoked all throughout the silence. He whispered questions to the invisible figures around him in sanitation. "What's them explosions?" "Explosions? Blow-ups. Hear 'em a long way off, mate. Them's blue jaunts." "What?" "Blue jaunts. Every sometime a guy gets fed up with the old Jeffrey. Can't take it no more, him. Jaunts into the wild blue yonder." "Jesus." "Yep. Don't know where they are, them. Don't know where they're going. Blue jaunt in the dark, and we hear 'em exploding up in the mountains. Boom! Blue jaunt." He was appalled, but he could understand. The darkness, the silence, the monotony destroyed sense and brought on desperation. The loneliness was intolerable. The patients buried in Gouffre Martel Prison Hospital looked forward eagerly to the morning sanitation period for a chance to whisper a word and hear a word. But these fragments were not enough, and the desperation came. Then there would be another distant explosion. Sometimes the suffering men would turn on each other, and then a savage fight would break out in the sanitation. These were instantly broken up by the goggled guards, and the morning lecture would switch on the moral fiber record, preaching the virtue of patience. Foyle learned the records by heart, every word, every click and crack in the tapes. He learned to loathe the voices of the lectures, the understanding baritone, the cheerful tenor, the man-to-man bass. He learned to deafen himself to the therapeutic monotony and perform his occupational therapy mechanically, but he was without resources to withstand the endless solitary hours. Fury was not enough. He lost counts of the days, of the meals, of sermons. He no longer whispered in sanitation. His mind came adrift, and he began to wander. He imagined he was back aboard Nomad, reliving his fight for survival. Then he lost even this feeble grasp of illusion and began to sink deeper and deeper into the pit of catatonia, of womb silence, womb darkness, and womb sleep. There were fleeting dreams. An angel hummed to him once. Another time she sang quietly. Thrice he heard her speak, "Oh God," and "God damn," and "Ah," in a heart-rending descending tone. He sank into his abyss, listening to her. "There is a way out," his angel murmured in his ear, sweetly, comforting. Her voice was soft and warm, yet it burned with anger. It was the voice of a furious angel. "There is a way out." It whispered in his ear from nowhere, and suddenly, with the logic of desperation, it came to him that there was a way out of Godfrey Martel. He had been a fool not to see it before. "Yes," he croaked, "there is a way out." There was a soft gasp, then a soft question. "Who's there?" "Me is all," Foyle said. "You know me." "Where are you?" "Here, where I always been, me." "But there's no one. I'm alone." "Got to thank you for helping me." "Oh, hearing voices is bad," the furious angel murmured. "The first step off the deep end. I've got to stop." "You show me the way out. Blue Jaunt." "Blue Jaunt? My God, this must be real. You're talking the gutter lingo. You must be real. Who are you?" "Gully Foyle." "But you're not in my cell. You're not even near. Men are in the north quadrant of Godfrey Martel. Women are in the south. I'm south 900. Where are you?" "North 111. "You're a quarter of a mile away. How can we—" "Of course! It's the whisper line. I always thought that was a legend, but it's true. It's working now." "Here I go, May," Foyle whispered. "Blue Jaunt." "Foyle, listen to me. Forget the Blue Jaunt. Don't throw this away. It's a miracle." "What's a miracle?" "There's an acoustical freak in Godfrey Martel. They happen in underground caves. A freak of echoes, passages, and whispering galleries. Old-timers call it the whisper line. I never believed them. No one ever did, but it's true. We're talking to each other over the whisper line. No one can hear us but us. We can talk, Foyle. We can plan. Maybe we can escape." Her name was Gisbella McQueen. She was hot-tempered, independent, intelligent, and she was serving 5 years of cure in Godfrey Martel for larceny. Gisbella gave Foyle a cheerfully furious account of her revolt against society. "You don't know what jaunting's done to us women, Gully. It's locked us up, sent us back to the Seraglio." "What's Seraglio, girl?" "A harem. A place where women are kept on ice. After 1,000 years of civilization, it says here, we're still property. Jaunting's such a danger to our virtue, our value, our mint condition, that we're locked up like gold plate in a safe. There's nothing for us to do, nothing respectable. No jobs, no careers. There's no getting out, Gully, unless you bust out and smash all the rules." "Did you have to, Juz?" "I had to be independent, Gully. I had to live my own life, and that's the only way society would let me. So I ran away from home and turned crook." And Jiz went on to describe the lurid details of her revolt. The temper racket, the cataract racket, the honeymoon and obituary drops, the badger jaunt, and the glim drop. Foyle told her about Nomad and Vorga, his hatred and its plans. He did not tell Gisbella about his face or the 20 million in platinum bullion waiting in the asteroids. "What happened to Nomad?" Gisbella asked. "Was it like that man Dagenham said? Was she blasted by an outer satellite's raider?" "I don't know, May. I can't remember, girl." "The blast probably wiped out your memory. Shock. And being marooned for 6 months didn't help. Did you notice anything worth salvaging from Nomad?" "No." "Did Dagenham mention anything?" No, Foyle lied. Then he must have another reason for hounding you into Goffrey Martell. There must be something else he wants from Nomad. Yeah, geez. But you were a fool trying to blow up Vorga like that. You're like a wild beast trying to punish the trap that injured it. Steel isn't alive. It doesn't think. You can't punish Vorga. Don't know what you mean, girl. Vorga passed me by. You punish the brains, Gully. The brains that set the trap. Find out who was aboard Vorga. Find out who gave the order to pass you by. Punish him. Yeah? How? Learn to think, Gully. The head that could figure out how to get the Nomad underway and how to put a bomb together ought to be able to figure that out. But no more bombs. Brains, instead. Locate a member of Vorga's crew. He'll tell you who was aboard. Track them down. Find out who gave the order. Then punish him. But it'll take time, Gully. Time and money. More than you've got. I got a whole life, Mike.